What up, guys? Kevin here. Time to play my favorite game, your favorite game, Gordon Ramsay's favorite game, the Metacritic score game. This is a game where a game comes out, people review that game, people give it a score. Metacritic takes those scores and gives it a number, and we're going to guess what that number is. And today we're doing Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, a game that I'm really looking forward to playing. That I never seen Indiana Jones before, so I just watched the first Indiana Jones Raiders of the Lost Ark. I reviewed it like a month ago. I enjoyed it, so I'm looking forward to the Great Circle here. But man, I gotta say, this game is going in the wrong direction. Uh-oh. Just made a video on Avowed. I talked a little bit how that game's going in the right direction, where the game didn't look good those first couple trailers. But now with the previews coming out, people going, "Oh, this is gonna be really good. This is a really good game we got here." Whereas Indiana Jones, I think we just wanted. I think the expectation was, all right, Xbox is gonna have their Uncharted. Oh, it's in first person. Oh, it's heavily stealth. Oh, this just doesn't look good. And I gotta say, if you are looking forward to this game like I am, there's a great YouTuber named Luke Stevens. You may know him. He's put out a couple videos. I don't want to say trashing the game, but he might as well be trashing the game. Not someone, I would not watch his videos if you're looking forward to this, which I did. And that is going to heavily influence my thinking of what this game is going to get Metacritic score-wise. But yeah, primarily stealth. You're using just items you're finding around. Like, oh, here's a belt. Here's a pen. Here's a PS5 Pro. Go bash the enemies over the head with it and sneak around. And like the first person mode, I don't understand where the hate comes from first person all of a sudden. Doesn't it feel like this is the game where we've just said, no, we don't want first person anymore? Like I've never seen this before. I've heard this before. I feel like I'm quite a bit into the gaming space, but this is the game where people just turn their backs on just first person, really. Like if it's not a shooter, then don't be first person. But it does switch to third person when you're doing, I guess, climbing or whatever. But I do have a lot of faith in machine games here. I really do. But yeah, the previews, it says like, yeah, you're just going around. There's a lot of doors and you got to get keys. Got to get keys to the doors. And I'm like, I hate the arbitrary, like, oh, I need to get over here, but I got to go over here and grab this and go over here and grab that. I can't stand that shit. I can't. There was a time and place for it. And I do think we are in a day and age of video games where we tolerated a lot of shit, a lot of stuff, because we were growing up with video games and video games were growing up with us. And now video games have matured to a point where knock this shit off. All this arbitrary, dumb puzzles. No, we're over it. The problem is these games were probably started being made when we were putting up with it. So we're just in this transition phase, and I think Indiana Jones here is going to get caught in it. And I'm not saying the game's going to be bad. I think it's going to be a game that we all look back and go, yeah, that game wasn't that bad. We gave it a hard time, but it really wasn't that bad. The cutscenes and everything looks great. Troy Baker as Indiana Jones seems to be doing a good job. And I think I'm just going to be there for the ride. Hopefully I enjoy the stealth missions enough that it doesn't bother me. But I think the cutscenes and seeing all the scenes, all the locations, doing the world tour, I think that's going to be good enough for me, but will it be good enough for the people reviewing the game? I think so. I think so to a point where it gets at least an 80. But I'm going to leave it there. I think this game gets an 80 Metacritic score. I think it'll be just a fun romp, a fun just shut your brain off and just enjoy Indiana Jones. I think the movies being bad, the last couple, I don't know, what was the last one? Dial of Destiny. I'm starting to hear a little bit more positive things towards that one than Nate. Well, I don't hear great things, but I've heard a couple positive things. But ultimately, those two didn't quite live up. And I think this one will maybe live up at least in the cutscene department. And just seeing a young Indy, not a Harrison Ford or de-ageify like they did in Dial of Destiny. I think that will be enough to push it to an 80, but the gameplay itself, maybe not so much, especially if I'm hearing that the enemy AI is pretty brain dead. Like you can sneak up on someone, bash them, and then someone be standing right there and they won't even notice. Like, come on. Come on. Like, that's what I'm talking about. We put up with that stuff. We put up with that stuff in the early Assassin's Creed games because it's like, wow, we never played a game like this. Now we've played millions of games like this. You gotta give us a little bit smarter AI. Give us something a little bit smarter. But yeah, 80 is what I'm guessing. Let me know what you think the game's gonna get. Game comes out really soon. I'm quite excited for it. I'm still excited for it. After all the negative coverage, I I don't know. I just love these adventure games. I really do. Even if it's gonna be a stealth, like slowly walk around and just grab keys, a bunch of keys, a bunch of tools to get from one area to the next, and it's all arbitrary and just makes me feel retarded. All right, but I gotta go. 80 is what it is. Let me know what you think in the comment section. I'll talk to you later. Later.